So you're still kind of fat and frustrated on T4 only. Maybe you are stuck in the synthroid box, as I call it, meaning your doctor has put you on T4. So levo, tirosint, synthroid, Thyrox, many different names for T4 medication, but it all comes down to it's just T4. So when you are prescribed the standard of care treatment, which is T4 medication for your hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, you are being given an inactive thyroid hormone. T4 is totally inactive.
So this is going to be a game changer for you, and you can probably hear the excitement in my voice. The latest introduction, the latest member of the family to the Fixxr line is Metabolism Fixxr. And this, oh my God, I formulated this just for all my people out there that need to lose weight, that need help in the weight loss department, that can't lose weight no matter what they do, that feel like they have a slow metabolism, and that might be thinking of trying all those peptides out there, you know, the Beverly Hills soccer mom drug of choice for weight loss peptides. Or even if you're on them already and you're like, man, these are really expensive and I'm still not losing weight, add in Metabolism Fixxr. Here's what I did. I took the power of T2, which increases your basal metabolic rate while you are sitting there watching Netflix. You're burning fat while you're watching Netflix. I combined it with a very unique patented ingredient called Suppressa. Suppressa has multiple clinical trials backing its efficacy in reducing your appetite, decreasing snacking, and providing way more control over your food intake. It is amazing. We also see improved emotional well-being, just decreased food cravings all around, reduced hunger, and weight management. Add on top of that, we have green tea extract, we have purple forest purple tea extract, both of which affect the metabolism in a very positive way without the jitters of normal fat burning supplements out there from the 1980s and 90s, right? The ones that made you feel like you're having a heart attack. You will not have that in any of my supplements, Thyroid Fixxr or Metabolism Fixxr. But Metabolism Fixxr, ooh, yeah, we kicked it up a notch. It is in powder form, so you can drink it through your day. It's going to flavor your water. We got orange crush and refreshing citrus. I love them both. It is going to keep you under control all day long. So you throw a couple scoops in your water bottle in the morning, throw a scoop or two in your water bottle throughout the day. You will have fat burning and appetite control the entire day for what? An eighth of a price of the peptides? Oh my God, you can't go wrong. So grab some Metabolism Fixxr today. Please let me know how you do on it. I am super excited for you. Super excited.
Now, if we look at the thyroid gland itself, for those of you who still have one and have not had it partially or totally removed, if we look at the thyroid gland and a healthy euthyroid, non-sick thyroid gland, produces T4 and T3. Now, that T4 is metabolically inactive. It is your storage form of thyroid hormone. T4 is storage. So it's basically like gasoline in, those big red, gasoline containers. Okay, so that's your T4. Now you got to put the gas in the tank and start the engine in order for it to convert over to T3. So T3 is the gas. T4 has to convert to T3. So you have all this storage. And again, in a non-sick thyroid gland, it's producing about 80% T4, 20% T3, and that T4 is converted peripherally in the tissues and in the cell. Now, there are many things that are needed for it to convert over to T3, but in a healthy, functioning person, that just occurs. So estrogen levels are down, insulin levels are balanced. There's no indication of insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes getting in the way of that conversion. Iron levels are sufficient. Ferritin is good. Magnesium, selenium, and iodine levels are perfect. Your B12 is perfect. Your vitamin D levels are up and functioning. You're not under a lot of stress. You're not running around with high cortisol or low cortisol. So you kind of see how many things can get in the way of that conversion. But there are people out there whose thyroids are functioning properly and who produce T4 and T3 and whose T4 is converted in the cell and in the tissue properly into T3, the active thyroid hormone. So then that little active thyroid hormone attaches to a receptor site on every single one of your cells, including your heart. So cardiac health, very important to have T3 levels be optimal. That T3 attaches to your cell receptor site for T3, and it does its job. It keeps you alive. It runs your metabolism. It grows your hair. It strengthens your nails. It improves your mood. It helps your sleep. It helps with the downstream hormones that are associated with thyroid, such as all of your sex hormones, such as insulin and cortisol and even pregnenolone, which is a precursor to all hormones and also related to cortisol. So it starts affecting every cellular process in the body and every hormonal process in the body. That is why T3 is so powerful, because your little cell doesn't even have a receptor site on it for T4. So we give patients T4, not we. Doctors give their patients T4 only, and then cross their fingers and wish on a rainbow that it converts. Many times you'll only have that TSH tested, won't you? Or you only have the TSH and free T4 tested. Well, hello, if you're taking T4 medication, do you think that your free T4 levels are going to look good? Yeah, because you're replacing T4 thyroid hormone. And then that blood test picks up the synthetic T4 that you're taking, and it says, hey, doc, everything's fine. And your TSH can actually go down into that pretty picture that doctors like it between 0 and 4.5 or whatever the standard lab value range is nowadays. Functional medicine, we like it below a 2. But it could even fall below a 2. You can even have a TSH below a 2 and have your free T4 look all pretty, and you never, ever, ever know whether or not that T4 is actually converting over to T3, the active thyroid hormone, because nobody has tested your free T3 level. And I guarantee you, many of you have not had your reverse T3 tested. So that's another piece of the puzzle. When T4 cannot properly convert over to T3, one indication that T4 is not properly converting over to T3 is high reverse T3 levels. So in functional medicine, we really like it below a 12. I'll take it below a 15 if your free T3 is optimal and if you're feeling better. But above a 15, that's a huge red flag. That's a big red flag that you are not converting properly. And the more T4 you put in your body, the more the reverse will go up, and it will block the T3 action at the cell level. Now, this goes through a process of deiodinazing the D2 enzyme and how it pulls one of the iodine atoms. I can't even tell you the complexity of this process. But please note that high reverse T3, the simplistic way, the layman's terms, the way I want to put it so that you understand it is that if reverse T3 is high, it is like a bouncer at your cell door telling T3 that it can't come in. It can't attach to the receptor site. Not allowed. Not enough processes have happened for whatever reason. Whatever has increased that reverse T3, it could be stress, not enough sleep, high cortisol, high estrogen, high insulin, not enough iodine, not enough magnesium. All of that can contribute to high reverse T3, inflammation, high reverse T3, infection, underlying infection, EBV, Lyme, HPV. That's going to increase inflammation, which is going to bring up reverse T3, which is going to prevent T3 from getting into the cell. So here you are. What's my point, right? I'm trying to wrap this up and explain it all. My point is that you're putting in T4 only. While you're still fat and frustrated on T4, you're putting in T4 and you're hoping it converts, and nobody's checking to see if it converts. And you're like, why am I taking this thyroid hormone and I'm still gaining weight? Why am I taking this thyroid hormone and I fixed my diet and I'm still gaining weight? I thought thyroid hormone would fix this. The doctor said I had hypothyroidism. He gave me this medication. He said this would fix it. So if I'm low in thyroid hormone, shouldn't taking this medication fix it? You're taking the inactive form only. And there are so many things that can get in the way of T4 to T3 conversion. So you are literally taking a medication and crossing your fingers and wishing on a rainbow that magic happens. So when you're taking T4 only, you may be one of the 1 in 1,000 lucky ones that it works for, but you're probably not. And that T4 has a big process to convert over. Now, listen, we might be giving you NDT, we might be giving you T4 and T3, and some of that T4 is going to convert. Some of it will, but this is why I like using other medications. And this is why I have problems with doctors being in the Synthroid box, because there are other medications out there. We can pair up leothyronine, which is T3. We can pair that up with your T4. We can put you on NDT, which is T4 and T3 combined, and we can see how that does. And then even add in T3 to that to change the ratio of that 80-20 split. We could do T3 only if you're a candidate for that. There are so many different things that we can do with your medication to optimize you and get your life back. There is no reason to stay stuck in the Synthroid box, in the T4 box, and staying fat and frustrated and tired because you are stuck on T4 medication and nobody's listening and nobody's testing you and nobody's looking at you as a whole person and nobody cares that you're fat and tired. Your doctor's not listening to you. He's telling you to eat less and exercise more. Nobody is listening. I'm listening. I promise you I'm listening because I've been there. I did T4 only. I tolerated it for about 5 months. And then I was like, enough of this shit. I'm done. I'm done feeling fat and tired. And I need something that works, because in 5 months, a medication should work, right? If I gave you an antidepressant, wouldn't you want it to work in 5 months? Antidepressants are Band-Aids unless you absolutely need them. But wouldn't you want it to work in 5 months? If I gave you an antibiotic for an infection and it didn't work in 5 months, that would be a huge issue. But no worries on your Synthroid not working in 5 months. That's okay. Some of you have been suffering for decades. Nobody cares. Hey, doc, I'm not better. I still have all these symptoms. Maybe can we change the med? Nope, you're good. Let's raise you to 88. We'll just bump it up a little bit. We'll keep raising your T4. Then maybe you'll feel better. Then a year later, you go back, that 88 didn't really do anything. It didn't work. Oh, well, we'll raise you to 112. See how that works. See if that's better. No, there are other medications out there. And when I gave a presentation to integrative wellness physicians. It was on the thyroid. And I asked the question, why are you in the Synthroid box? If a patient comes to you and wants an antidepressant, right, you're going to get Wellbutrin. If that doesn't work, you're going to get Lexapro. If that doesn't work, you're going to get another one and another one. And then we can tag one on, and we'll put on some Ativan, and we'll put on some Abilify, and we'll just give you a nice little cocktail mix until you feel better. But thyroid hormone, no, I'm just going to use one, T4. So I asked that question, why? And then when doctor raises his hand, says that's all we've learned. That is what is taught in medical school. That's what's taught, right? That is what is learned. And I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole of who may or may not be giving money to the med schools, makers of Synthroid. Nudge, nudge. We just gave $1 million to your med school. You might want to tell your doctors to prescribe Synthroid if a patient has hypothyroidism. So that is why you are still sick, fat, and tired on T4 only. And you might need a little bit of help and guidance to change that scenario, change that narrative to where, guess what? We can actually optimize your thyroid and get you your life back so you don't have to stay stuck in the cycle. You're just on a hamster wheel. If you want to stay on the hamster wheel, so be it. If you want to read every book and every forum and every blog post trying to figure out why you still feel like garbage, absolutely take more time out of your life. If you're ready, let me know. And we can get you on the right medication so that you're not stuck on T4. And we can check all of those markers that need to be checked to make sure that nothing is getting in the way of conversion if you are on T4. But I like skipping the middleman, giving the patient a little bit of T3 just to light them up, just to get that T3 right to the cell. And then we can work on the conversion aspect of T4. Maybe you don't convert at all. Maybe you have a genetic SNP in the DIO1 and DIO2 enzyme pathway that says you're not going to convert. You might need T3 only, but how do you know that if you're stuck on T4? You're just going to get worse. You're going to get worse. So get off the hamster wheel, get off the roller coaster, get out of the Synthroid box and see what life is like out here in optimized world. I might use that. I might start using that. Now you're going to start hearing me say, welcome to optimized world, optimized thyroid world. How about that? Let's get a community, optimized thyroid world community. And I'll see you on this side whenever you're ready. Okay. Ask me questions, share this, and until next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Thyroid Fix podcast. As always, please share this with anyone that you know that needs this information. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there and in your life who do. Also, please remember that anything that you hear on this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat. So you always want to check with your doctor about any advice given that you hear on this podcast. And if you would like to book a discovery call, a free discovery call, to go over everything that's going on with you and to go over how I can help you, please go to my website at amiehornaman.com. The link is always in the show notes. And click on book a call. Choose a time and a day that's right for you. And we will see how we can help you. Thanks for listening.